From Kern Government Television, welcome to this week's Kern County Board of Supervisors meeting, originating from the County Administrative Center located at 1115 Truxtun Avenue, Bakersfield, California. Kern County's vision is to create and maintain a customer-centered county government designed to garner the confidence, support, and trust of the people we serve. Today's Kern County Board of Supervisors meeting will convene momentarily.
Board to reconvene. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Supervisor Gleason.
Here.
Supervisor Scrivener.
Here.
Supervisor Maggard.
Here.
Supervisor Couch.
Here.
Supervisor Perez.
Here.
Thank you. And before we begin this afternoon's business, I have an announcement. While meeting in closed session this morning on item 41 of the 9 a.m. agenda, the Board of Supervisors voted unanimously 5-0 to appoint Glenn Funkhauser as Agricultural Commissioner and Sealer of Weights and Measures effective immediately. Mr. Funkhauser has 18 years of experience with the department, where he has served as the county's Assistant Director and before that as Deputy Director. He is a biologist with a solid background in administration, pesticide management, pest exclusion, and consumer protection. Glenn Funkhauser has the experience that the county needs in order to maintain its robust effort to assist Kern County growers while protecting consumers and the environment. And so we'd like to congratulate Glenn and ask him if he'd like to come forward. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Chairman Scrivener and Supervisors. I want to say that I'm very humbled by this appointment. I appreciate your faith in me. I've very much enjoyed working for my department for the past 18 years. I consider it a family, and I hope to continue the good work that we do for the public as well as for the growers of Kern County.
All right. Thank you so much. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right. Now I'll ask our County Council Mark Nations if there are any other reports out of closed session.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The other closed session items that were on the agenda were 40 and 42, 43, and 44. Those closed sessions were all held, but there are no reportable actions coming out of any of them. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Nations. Okay, so now we will consider our consent agenda. If you'd like to follow along with us, there are agendas available at the two tables by the exits. And all items listed with a CA or a C above the item are considered to be routine and non-controversial by county staff. The CA represents the consent agenda for the Board of Supervisors. The C represents the consent agenda for the Ford City-TAFT Heights Sanitation District. Consent items will be considered first and may be approved by one motion. If a member of the audience wishes to comment or ask questions regarding an item or items on the consent agenda, they may do so prior to a vote being taken on the consent agenda. A member of the board may remove any item from the consent agenda, and it will be considered in listed sequence with an opportunity for any member of the public to address the board concerning the item before action is taken. So at this time, I'll read the consent agenda for the Board of Supervisors. Okay, starting on page 2, item 4 is on consent. On page 3, we have items 5 through 8 on consent. On page 4, items 9 through 15 are on consent. And on page 5, items 16 through 24, all on consent. And on page 6, items 25 through 32 are all on consent. And finally, on page 7, items 33 through 38 are all on consent. So I'll ask if there's any member of the audience that would like to make any comments on the consent agenda. Okay, seeing none, I'll ask if there are any board members who would like to remove an item. If not, then I would ask for a motion to approve the consent agenda and to adjourn as the Board of Supervisors and reconvene as the Ford City-TAFT Heights Sanitation District.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Please cast your votes.
The motion is approved, all ayes.
Okay, so we're now sitting as the Ford City-TAFT Heights Sanitation District. We have one item on our consent agenda, and that's item number 1 on page 2. I'll ask if there's any member of the audience that would like to make a comment on item 1. Okay, seeing none, then I'll request a motion for approval of item 1 and to adjourn as the Ford City-TAFT Heights Sanitation District and reconvene as the Board of Supervisors.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Please cast your votes.
Motion is approved, all ayes.
All right. Thank you. So we're now reconvened as the Board of Supervisors, and we'll consider item 2 on our agenda, which is public presentations. This portion of the meeting is reserved for persons to address the board on any matter not on this agenda, but under the jurisdiction of the board. Board members may respond briefly to statements made or questions posed. Are there any members of the audience that would like to make a public statement? Okay, seeing none, I'll move on then to board member announcements or reports. Do we have any of those? Okay, we don't have any, so that brings us to the conclusion of our agenda today, and so I will request a motion that we adjourn to Tuesday, April 25th at 9 a.m.
Motion, well done.
We are adjourned.